Do you have any debt now? Are you worried all day about the huge debts you have or may not be able to repay? If so, I strongly recommend that you watch this video and I will give you a comprehensive psychological massage so that you can completely get rid of the mental distress caused by debt. You will be as happy, joyful, and energetic as you were without debt. This video is a bit long. I will explain in great detail the Buddhist wisdom of emptiness and how to solve practical problems in life. This is the first time you will hear this set of top mental techniques in full. There is a saying in Buddhism that forms come from the heart. Many people may have a deep misunderstanding of this sentence. It is often used to describe the beauty or ugliness of a person's appearance, which is determined by the good and evil in his heart. This is simply wrong. Forms refer to all the people and things you perceive and come into contact with in the real world. The meaning of forms come from the heart is that your encounters and situations in the real world are just images projected and rendered by your inner world. This image is false and unreal. The Diamond Sutra says that all forms are false. Why is it false? Because these images will change or disappear as the projection source in your heart changes. A good image of reality is the good things you encounter, which are projected and rendered by the honesty, abundance, generosity, calmness, love, and compassion in your heart. The bad reality image is the bad luck you encounter, which is attracted and projected by your inner prejudice, lack, greed, artificiality, and karma. So whether you are getting rich or in debt, it is essentially just an image subjectively labeled good or bad by your brain. This image is a changing process of formation, existence, destruction, and emptiness under the joint action of your inner causes and external conditions. It is like a dream bubble, like dew, or like electricity. Bodhisattva says that form is emptiness, emptiness is form, emptiness is not different from form, and form is not different from emptiness. The whole process is just a human game, or a fate movie. Your sense of life experience depends on whether you see the truth clearly, whether you are involved in the drama, whether you are obsessed with it, whether you stick your heart to this false image, and whether you let this false image detract from your inherent happiness and freedom. This is the Buddhist wisdom of emptiness, which is a very important advanced mental skill. If you can master it, it is no exaggeration to say that from now on, you will forever be free from the mental internal friction and negative emotions that ordinary people suffer. Below, I will use this powerful wisdom of emptiness to help you analyze in detail how debt makes you miserable and anxious, and how you can perfectly get rid of it and resurrect with full blood. It's rare that you will meet someone who teaches you this way. Let's start from the beginning and see how this human game called debt works. It starts from the greed, lack, artificiality, and bad habits in your heart, and under the chemical reaction of all sorts of factors, it projects, renders, attracts, and induces a realistic image called debt. And this image was received by your 6 roots of eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and mind, and was analyzed and judged by your discriminating mind. It was determined that this was a very bad, troublesome thing with serious consequences. It successfully sticks to your mind, occupies your attention, and then triggers your negative emotions, entangled and continuously trapped in a state of trouble, pain, and anxiety. Many debtors are simply lost in this human game. Firstly, they do not understand that the image of the real world is projected from their hearts, and they cannot clearly see the weaknesses in their hearts. The second is that they take the external image projected from their hearts seriously into a drama, and to be obsessed with it, without understanding that it is unreal. The third is that they cannot help but use the 6 roots to receive and judge this image, labeling it as very bad or serious. Fourth, the mind is stuck and occupied by this image with a bad label, and energy is constantly being wasted on it, causing anxiety and pain. If you think about it carefully, isn't it such a process? If you can see the truth of this game, then I will take you step by step to break it, so that you can completely eliminate the trouble and pain of debt and gain great freedom. Let me ask you first, why did you take out a loan and become in debt? Chasing it to the source is because of your greed and lack in mind, which commanded and instigated you to do it. Isn't it? Ask yourself, do you still want to spend money in advance or expand your business even if you don't have the financial strength? As the saying goes, every thought that arises in the mind is the cause, and whatever you experience at the moment is the result. A thought can lead you to heaven, and a thought can also lead you to hell. According to the Buddhist wisdom of emptiness we talked about earlier, any encounters and situations you encounter in the real world initially originate from a thought in your heart. This thought is a ball of energy that directs you to act erratically, triggering and exaggerating a reality called being in debt. Therefore, if you want to break the situation from the root, the most important thing is to keep your attention inward and discover your true self. In order to achieve that, the main task is to practice mindfulness, wipe away the 6 bad karma and habits of greed, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and doubt, as well as incorrect views, return to your original pure self, focus on your heart, repair your heart, and don't be stuck and occupied by false images from the outside world. Don't let your inner bad karma and habits project unpleasant real images. You must deeply realize that your mind is the source of projection of your real world. You have to slowly adjust your heart to a clear mind and see your true nature, so that all good changes can begin. I suggest you learn zero-limit cleaning, which is to engrave these 4 sentences in your heart and on your lips: I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. The power of these 4 sentences is far beyond your imagination. Note that their power requires an understanding that is 100 times greater than your current understanding of them. The second step is that if the realistic impact of debt has been projected by you, you must realize that this image is unreal. The reason why you think it is real is because your 6 roots have received it, judged it, reacted to it, been tempted, got involved in it, entangled, attached to it, and become confused. If you don't react, it's fake. If you change the inner projection source, it will become false. Some friends may say, isn't this just self-deception? So let me ask you, aren't you also deceiving yourself by making yourself very anxious and painful? This is originally an unreal human game or a scripted movie, but you are too deep into the game and too serious about the story. The third step is to train yourself to close the 6 roots and no longer let them receive the image of debt. Eyes should not see and ears should not hear. If you can't afford it, don't pay it back for now. If you don't want to answer the phone, don't answer it. If you don't want to see anyone, you can ignore it. If you want to change the number, change the number. If you want to change the environment, just change it. Tell yourself that I accept, surrender, and tolerate everything that has happened and will happen. Let what should be lost, and no longer resist and reject. You must shield yourself from the incoming debt image information, and you must calm down in an environment without the harassment of debt information. Stillness can produce wisdom, and all human emotional reactions are caused by the temptation and stimulation of external images. If you cannot completely block the entry of debt images, then stop analyzing and judging, and stop labeling this matter with serious consequences. It's not that serious. At most, it will cost you something outside of yourself. What is really serious is your fear and fantasy about it, but for a clear-minded you, it will not cause you to lose a little bit of your own happiness and freedom, and you will not even lose a hair. What do you have to worry about? The Buddha used to be a prince, but later he was actually a beggar, leading his disciples to beg for a living. His material conditions were much worse than those of you and me, but it did not affect his inner perfection, joy, ease, and happiness at all. The fourth step is to adjust your attention, energy and time, then invest in the right direction. Don't get hung up on this false image that you have given a bad label. Money is not the issue is where you put your energy, attention and time. Whether it is placed on the nonsense, idleness, resistance, rejection, anxiety and fear of the negative image, or on the quality of growth, awakening, realization of nature law, giving and service. Your wisdom and potential are sufficient. Wherever you invest, you will get results accordingly. But if you are confused, stuck, and trapped by external images, it will be difficult to unleash your wisdom and potential, get out of trouble, and resurrect with full health. Pay attention. I'm not encouraging you not to repay your debts. Once you have the money, you must pay it back and get rid of your karma. But you can't be trapped by debt before you can pay it back. You must become more intelligent and energetic. Friends, those who have achieved great things in ancient and modern times all have a unique temperament of not being affected a little bit even if a great disaster occurs. They have a kind of extraordinary wisdom that does not change their mind and moves randomly. They have a set of ways to turn crisis into opportunities and decay into magic. This is actually the Buddhist wisdom of emptiness. This set of advanced wisdom and advanced mental methods are effective for everything that troubles you. It's not just debt, it can be replaced by anything you think is bad. For example, broken love, marriage changes, unemployment, bankruptcy, illness, and lawsuits will all be a piece of cake for you in the future. These external images will not increase or decrease your happiness, joy, and freedom in the slightest. Whether you are happy inside or not does not depend at all on changes in the outside world. The key is how deep your understanding of the clear mind and self-sufficiency is. Would you rather be an ordinary person troubled by human games, or be an enlightened master? Thank you very much for watching. If you feel inspired, please like and subscribe so that more people in ignorance can see the light and make our world a better place.